welcome to you. Those are lyrics for that song, right? You didn't know there were lyrics.
We all choked up, Curt. Thank you for letting us be part of your day. It's Curt and Jen in the Morning, the podcast. And if you like what you're hearing, it's an easy, quick little thing that you could do for us. And that is hit that like button, the share button, the follow button, the subscribe button, any of the fun buttons. Engage with us. That's what we'd love.
Any of the fun buttons. I do like that.
Guess what today is?
What's that?
It's Galentine's Day.
It is Galentine's Day. You know what? We actually have an explanation if you don't know what Galentine's Day is. Ready? Here we go.
What's Galentine's Day? Oh, it's only the best day of the year. Every February 13th, my lady friends and I leave our husbands and our boyfriends at home and we just come and kick it breakfast style. Ladies celebrating ladies. It's like Lilith Fair, minus the angst. Plus frittatas.
Little dated reference there to Lilith Fair, right?
From Parks and Recreation. That's how
that's where it came
started. Yeah.
So Galentine's Day. What are you going to be doing for Galentine's Day, Jen?
You know what? I'm gathering with a few girlfriends and doing a lunch today.
Awesome.
I made little cookies. I should show you. Hold on.
Okay. Are there going to be mimosas and all that kind of stuff?
We're all going to have like little cookies at their little table setting. Heart-shaped cookies. And a few other treats, maybe. I'm excited.
You are the hostess with the mostess for sure, right?
Well, I mean, I try to be, make people feel special and loved.
You do a fine job. On today's program, if you're struggling with what to get your loved one for Valentine's Day, 4 good ideas and 3 terrible ones coming up.
And you know what? This year's Rock Hall of Fame nominees were announced yesterday, and we're going to go through those. I'm excited to know what you think of them, Curt.
Yeah, well, I'm going to talk about the one band in there. You're like, who the heck is this? Something happened for the first time in 42 years involving what, vehicles?
Yeah, involving vehicles. That's true. And your go-to Valentine's Day movie. We've got that too.
All the above on the way. Hang on.
All right. A little bit
more on Galentine's Day.
Yeah, Galentine's Day. Here are the top qualities that we look for in a gal pal. Are you ready for it, Curt?
I am prepared, I believe.
There was a poll that was taken, of course, at how many good female friends the average woman has. 1/4, 26% said 3. Around 40% said 4 or 5, and 1/4 said 6 or more.
There you go. You're at the 6 or more level for sure.
I feel, yeah, I am. I'm very blessed. I really feel that about my village that I have of my friends.
You're
love
also
them so
easy
much.
to be friends with, I mean.
Oh, thanks, Curt.
You make it easy. How about the qualities that we look for in your gal pals?
Common interests, a similar sense of humor, a fun-loving attitude, which is really my number one. You gotta like be loving life and be willing to go do fun things. You know what I mean?
That's a good place to start.
Intellect and religious beliefs are the things that top the list on, when you're looking for a friend, that's what you look for.
Well, I found also, and maybe this is you as well, they did it and Google did at some of the Galentine's Day related stuff that people have been searching on Google. The top trending activity is dinner party.
We're doing lunch.
The top food is chocolate covered strawberries.
Which, can I add, that you can get at Fred Meyer and QFC, custom chocolate dipped strawberries today and tomorrow only.
At all Fred Meyer locations?
All Fred Meyer and QFC locations. They have a customized your strawberry station. They dip them for you. You choose your kind of chocolate that you think whoever you're giving this to, or if it's for you. I might go do it because I love chocolate dipped strawberries. They're good.
Oh, they are the best. Do you believe this? That it says the top Galentine's Day drink women are Googling is a Shirley Temple?
I was thinking about that, Curt. Like, what's a good Galentine's Day and or Valentine's Day drink? And Shirley Temple seems like the perfect one. But did you read after the Shirley Temple? Like, if you add vodka to it, it becomes a dirty Shirley.
A dirty Shirley. Otherwise, it's just like 7-Up, grenadine, and a cherry, right?
Yeah. Add vodka and it's a dirty Shirley. I like it.
I love that name.
I just like the name, really.
All right, so moving on to tomorrow, away from Galentine's Day to Valentine's Day, we're trying to help out here, and I don't know how helpful this is going to be. But
I don't either, because I don't know about these.
Yeah, Valentine's Day, you should probably have a gift by now, but if you don't, we have, it claims to be 4 great choices and 3 terrible choices. I'm not even sure about the great choices. You want to go?
I'm not not either. Okay, so a watch, because it represents the gift of time.
Mm, mm. You're going to give your special someone a watch? I suppose.
I mean, if I didn't have an Apple Watch already, I would want one. So
Right.
that would be, I would like that gift a lot. They're just they're a lot of US dollars.
They are a lot of US dollars.
Chocolate.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's great.
Well, this goes back to the history of chocolate and say it was viewed back in the day by the Mayans as a heart opener.
And then here's another one. Scarves. They represent a strong spiritual connection. I don't want a scarf.
Finally, kitchenware. Despite the backlash, it says, against presents which are seen as functional or boring, kitchen utensils can let your partner know that you want to nourish each other's souls and create something together.
I like that one.
Well, yeah, but wouldn't it also show that you didn't want to spend all the money for the dipped chocolate strawberries? Like, hey, here's a spatula.
No, it should come with this chocolate dipped strawberries.
Got it.
Do you have a gift for Dana?
What's that?
Do you have a gift for Dana?
I am not telling you if I do or not. If I do, you're going to go crazy saying, great. If I don't, you're going to say you got to get something. If I tell you what it is, you say that's no good.
It's not true, Curt Cruz.
We've got it worked out. We're low-key Valentine's people.
Here are the 3 worst Valentine's Day gifts. Number 1, lingerie. Since underwear covers most of our private areas, it represents a desire to hide something. Your partner may be sending you the message that they're keeping something from you. What?
I would say it gives you something to open up.
Can I tell you a quick story about lingerie shopping? Remember Kent from Kent and Ellen back when we were on the radio, the morning show hosts?
Yeah.
I was shopping. We were on a station trip, and I was with Kent's wife, Kelly. And we were at a mall, and we went into Victoria's Secret, and we were just looking around for some things, just seeing what was out there. And she took this piece of lingerie, and she's like, let me see here. And she tosses it on the ground, and she's like, yeah, that looks good there. That's where we'll end up anyway.
Fun.
So awesome.
So lingerie is among the worst Valentine's gifts. You have some other ones, though.
Yeah, alcohol and bath salts.
Bath salts?
I mean, why? I don't even understand why. Salt is a cleanser and a purifier, so the gift of bath salts will help rid the receiver of any negativity in a relationship. But if you are the toxic partner, you will be cleansed away. That's what it says. Like this list, I don't even love it.
I don't love it either. But if you are the toxic partner, you should be cleansed away, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But let's move along. I'm done with that list. There's so many bad. You know what? My best Valentine's Day gift that I've ever received
was what?
From, of course, hot firefighter boyfriend Pat. On our first Valentine's Day, he gave me this sparkle heart-shaped box. And inside that box were little sticky notes that were color-coded sticky notes that.
Oh my God, I remember.
Right? One of the categories was things I love about you, things that I can't wait to do with you. And I forget the last one. We're actually going to open it up and revisit it this Valentine's Day. I'm excited. It was so sweet. It was so thoughtful. It didn't cost a ton of money. It took him more time than anything, which meant a lot to me. And it was just, I love it. And I still have it. And I still look at those notes every once in a while.
Well, I didn't do a facepalm because I thought it was a bad idea. I was like, that was like, man, that guy's making me have to level up. Thanks a lot, buddy.
It was really good.
That was really good. Do we play music getting into this next one or not?
Yes.
All right. Just for you. Here's some happy music or some happy news. Not happy news. In case you're wondering, just so you know, egg prices hit a record high in the U.S. People are like, hey, eggs are pretty expensive these days, right?
Yeah.
Just so you know, average price of a dozen grade A eggs in U.S. cities reached $4.95 in January, eclipsing the record of $4.82 set 2 years ago, and more than double the low was $2.04 in August of 2023. So hey,
this is why people are buying cartons and cartons of eggs at Costco, because the price is going up because of the lack of availability.
And that's why Costco and some other places had to put a limit on how many eggs you can get.
Yeah.
I think it was, maybe it's a dozen. Maybe it's like, you know what? Well, Costco sells them in more than a dozen. So
no, they sell them in like 2 dozen or something. Yeah.
So that's enough on that. That was my idea. Sorry.
Well, it's good to know. This is funny to me. that you can add a jump scare to websites you use too much. Did you even know this was a thing?
I did not know this was a thing. This is a way to get you to not go to the websites too much, right? So if you are trying yourself to avoid going to whatever website it is, you can add what they call a jump scare to, I guess it's so you go to the website and then you get too scared.
What the what?
That was a jump scare.
So it's an app called Taboo, Taboo, that does it through Google Chrome. You can download the extension at
Taboo.xyz. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Before you do that, do we trust that?
I don't know. That seems like weird. When you visit the site, you want to use less, a scary picture pops up. Oh, when you visit a site that you want to use less, a scary picture pops up and prevents you from accessing it. You can also have it play sound effects like Curt just did. Wow. Okay. Who knew? I just report what I see, and when I say something like this to myself, like, I didn't know that. That's when I put it in the show, because I'm thinking, if I didn't know that, probably many others didn't either.
No, I think that you're right. I also think that if it was me, it wouldn't work, because I'd be like, oh yeah, I put that funny jump scare in there. Okay, I'm still going to the site.
Right.
Although apparently maybe it blocks you from going, so that's a good thing. But then again, how about some self-control, right? You just don't go to that site.
Maybe. All right.
Easier said than done, I suppose, right?
I can't believe you don't have this one.
I don't have what?
Audio for this one. Backstreet, back. All right.
Too scared.
What?
Too scared that the podcast police will come and get us. We've already had situations where
That's true.
Where they said, "I'm sorry, we're," and I believe what happens is they just sort of blank out the music for that part, right? So you're listening to the podcast, and if we throw in a song we're not supposed to, all of a sudden it goes silent until that sound clip plays. So yes, I thought about it.
Well, let me do it.
Backstreet,
back. All right.
Larger than life news from yesterday. Kevin, AJ, Nick, Howie, and Brian are hitting the stage at the Sphere in Las Vegas. So they are doing a relatively short residency there, celebrating the 25th anniversary of their hit album Millennium, and they're going to do 9 dates at the Sphere in Las Vegas in July.
That's pretty cool. They're going to the Sphere. And you know who's going to be super excited? I don't know if you remember her, but remember we used to work with a gal named Chandra?
Oh, yes. She is Backstreet. I mean, she is...
Loves.
That's a fan there. I mean, she's gone to see him in Europe and overseas.
He's fanatical. It's awesome.
Yeah. Right. So I don't know what and not that people maybe care, but the Sphere is apparently a great, from an audio standpoint, place to see anybody. So here's what they said. The venue said this will be the ultimate Y2K nostalgia trip, adding the immersive visuals and next level sound make the Sphere the place to bring all the Backstreet bangers to life. Backstreet bangers? Is that what they're called?
I guess. I love it.
Fans?
Love it.
Okay. Something to do.
What is your go-to Valentine's Day movie or your favorite love story movie? I threw that part in there too. Like, if you don't have a favorite go-to Valentine's Day movie, so to speak, really, we're just looking for your favorite love story movie.
Right. Which you could use a Valentine's Day or other days as well. But as always, you guys showed up big time. I'm not going to say what I suggested yesterday because I think it might be on this list. All right. Okay. But go ahead. Let's get started here. Your favorite go-to Valentine's Day or love story, right?
Jenny said, I like to watch Steel Magnolias. Now, granted, it's because I love that movie and nobody watches it with me.
Okay. That seems to be a favorite of Dana's as well.
Yeah. Randy said Somewhere in Time. I don't think I've ever seen that one.
Isn't that Christopher Reeve? And that was the one that I believe it was filmed at a hotel in Michigan in the what they call the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Oh.
And there's a hotel there. Mackinac Island is where I'm sorry, I'm getting way too detailed. Anyway, the long and the short is Dana really wants to go stay at that hotel. If it's the same movie, I'm thinking.
That's right. We talked about that before.
Yeah. So that's a good one.
Said The Notebook and Beaches, both great movies. I think a few people said The Notebook, actually. Jackie said, I don't know if it's for Valentine's Day, but my favorite love story is Heart and Souls.
And then we had, of course, Marilyn said Pretty Women. And then we had Pretty Woman, rather. And then we have this one here.
I'm also just a girl standing in front of a boy.
asking him to love her.
Notting
Know
Hill.
that? You know that? Like,
Well, I think that's the line everybody remembers from that movie. I'm just a girl standing in front of a boy asking her to love him. Have you never seen Notting Hill?
I have, but I don't remember it. Like, I saw it when it came out and have not seen it since.
Okay, that's when and frankly, it's a little frustrating because by that time I'm like, listen, Julia, you've been teasing and playing with Hugh's heart this entire time. You keep leaving and coming back. Get the hell out of there. But of course, that's not the ending people want to see.
Oh, okay. Melissa said The Notebook. I have watched it a million times and counting. Love this story. Anne said Love Actually.
That I think would be one of mine. Love Actually and Notting Hill, I think would be that. And she also put in and said When Harry Met Sally. Of course, that's in there. Liz with Sweet Home Alabama, which I believe also has a line in it, something along the lines of I married you so I can kiss you whenever I want.
Oh, I like that line. The Princess Bride said Sonia, and then Laura said About Time because it's about romantic love, sibling love, parental love, love of life, and love of growth and acceptance.
I've not even heard of About Time. Have you heard of that one?
Laura, we're going to check that one out. Thanks for giving us that heads up.
Fantastic suggestions. Thanks everybody for participating, but we still have some more. If you were not that interested in any of those, or you want some more suggestions, there is actually, and there's tons of lists out, but we grabbed one from the Hollywood Reporter, and these are some of the ones, the movies that they said that most of them, I don't know if they were on our list or not. But the Hollywood Reporter says, don't forget about You've Got Mail, Sleepless in Seattle, To All the Boys I've Loved Before, Crazy Rich Asians is on there, which is one I mentioned yesterday. My Best Friend's Wedding. Have you seen that one?
Yes, I have seen that one. I've seen all of these that you're talking about.
The Proposal. That's a fun one with Ryan Reynolds and Sandy Bullock.
It's been a long time since I've seen these movies. Never Been Kissed. I know I've seen, but I don't remember it. Right. And My Big Fat Greek Wedding. What about The Wedding Singer, 50 First Dates, and Wedding Crashers?
Those are just suggestions. Those are just more random suggestions that people said. I would agree. Maybe not Wedding Crashers, but the other 50 First Dates is cute. And The Wedding Singer, of course. Was that the one where she was going to end up being Julia Gulia? I think so. That was The Wedding Singer. Yeah. So great movies to watch. If you haven't thought of anything yet, maybe now you have. This doesn't really go anywhere, Jen. I just thought it was a funny thing I saw.
Okay, tell me. What is it?
And I don't remember what website I found this on, but it was basically what on-screen couples should have broken up. There's plenty of shows, TV shows, movies that we've seen where you're like, you know what? Like I just mentioned, maybe they're at the end of Notting Hill, if we didn't have to have a happy ending, which of course you do. I understand. He would have said, you know what, Julia Roberts, you might be a movie star, but you have dumped me and left me and made me mad so many times. They probably shouldn't have ended up as a couple.
Okay,
and
so who needs to break up?
Well, according to this list, Greg and Pam from Meet the Parents.
Okay.
It would be Frank and Estelle Costanza from Seinfeld. Those people hated each other.
Oh, see, I never watched Seinfeld. Is that funny?
That is funny and unusual. They said also couples should have broken up. Andy and Ben from How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Jim and Pam from The Office. I always thought that people loved their romance there, Jim and Pam. But apparently towards the end of the series, there's a quote here that says, it became hard as hell to root for these romances. Homer and Marge Simpson maybe should have broken up. Haley and Dylan from Modern Family. That's the girl.
Fred and Wilma from the Flintstones?
I don't know. He would be kind of a hard guy to have as your husband, I think. But hey, I just found a list, passing it along. All right. There you go. You can thank me later. All right, let's go through this quickly.
I'm excited to get your take on this. The nominees for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame class of 2025 were announced yesterday. Here is the rundown. This year's first timers are Bad Company, The Black Crowes, Joe Cocker, Billy Idol, Outkast, Fish, and finally Chubby Checker.
My take almost always on these is, why did it take so long?
Chubby Checker, for crying out loud. He should have been in there long ago.
How is Bad Company not in the Rock and Roll? Joe Cocker is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I guess there's a certain amount of time that has to go by. I imagine that I imagine that most of these will make it in. The first time is Bad Company, Black Crowes, Joe Cocker, Billy Idol, you said, Outkast, Fish, And how's Chubby Checker not there again? By the way,
Right.
he's still around. He's 83, and it seemed that he was living in New Orleans. I think there was some concern when Katrina went through that he was okay, and he was okay. That might have been Fats Domino. Man, I'm really screwing this up with my elder statesman as far as rock music goes. But other nominees for this year: Mariah Carey. No.
Yeah. Do you not like, I mean, she's done great things in music. I mean, she's like the #1 Christmas song ever.
Yeah, and this is where you draw the line. It's like, well, what do you consider to be rock and roll? Should it just be called the Music Hall of Fame?
Okay.
So Mariah Carey,
Joy
Division and New Order. People have heard of New Order. Before New Order was New Order, they were a band called Joy Division.
Oh, I did not know that.
They broke up for reasons I'm not going to go into, but I love those bands. Particularly Joy Division, I thought was an awesome band. And then New Order, but people are like, that's just, techno music and drum machines. Like, all right.
Also, Cyndi Lauper, Oasis, Soundgarden, and the White Stripes, which I've never even heard of before.
You've not heard of the White Stripes?
No.
Oh, you know Jack White if you saw him. So
the class of 2025 will be announced in April, and the induction ceremony will take place in the fall in Los Angeles.
Okay. How about on to the next story?
Okay. Oh, geez, Curt. Okay, this
Darth
is all
Vader?
about the perfect nap. Which I read this and I'm like, wait a second. And they even address it in this article. I'm like, because when I read the headline, it says the perfect nap should last 51 minutes. And I'm like, hold up, everybody, because NASA, and I remember this, came out with the perfect nap time being 26 minutes. So I'm like, what up with the what up on this?
Well, so do we see who are the people that said this just says new research is out. Okay. So the new research says a perfect nap should last 51 minutes. As you said, one sleep expert advised naps to be kept short, with 20 to 30 minutes being the ideal. And you're right, that was the people at NASA that said the perfect length was 26 minutes. So I don't know if you get to, at what point does it not become a nap? How long is it before it's
okay? Here's the deal. In this whole study thing, they say 80% of people take naps.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a brief one before bed, a napetizer, they called it.
A napetizer.
Which I like a lot.
Of course you do.
There's new research that says the perfect nap time is 1:42. This is down to the minute, 1:42 p.m. And that optimum nap length is 51 minutes, meaning you would wake up at 2:33 p.m. If the nap goes longer than that, at around an hour and a half, it can do more harm than good for your momentum and energy levels. And if it goes on for 2.5 hours, then it's officially a full sleep session.
Okay, there you go. So 2.5 hours is what it turns to be, a full sleep versus a nap.
Yes.
I'm telling you, if I laid down for, first of all, who has time between 1:42 and 2:33 if you have a job to take a nap? Maybe they should make that a new feature at jobs.
I don't know what to say.
1:42, everybody heads down, just like in school, just like in kindergarten.
Wait a second. They do that. I wonder how long the siestas, is it a siesta? Remember what, like in Mexico and or is it Spain? They shut everything down. Like everything shuts down. Do I have that right? There's like everything shuts down for like a certain amount of time. All the businesses. I
remember that from when I was young. I don't know if that was just like an urban myth, or if actually people did all at one point. Maybe if you go back far enough in history. I have a feeling that Mexico City doesn't shut down for an hour.
Okay, someone that is well traveled and knows a lot about history stuff, please let us know that. I want to know, is there places that still, or did they ever literally everything shut down so that you could take a nap?
Let us know.
Okay, next. Heard your sound effects today. You're really showing up with them. Way to go.
What does that song sound like?
Brown chicken, brown chicken, brown cow.
If you want to know something funny, I actually,
for
this next story, I actually Googled Bow Chicka Bow Bow. And that was the music that came up. So the story here is about R-rated fortune cookies, which are funny, right?
I've never had an R-rated fortune cookie. Have you?
They're fun. But they got sent to the wrong restaurants with the story. R-rated fortune cookies. There's a Vietnamese place in Australia, and they hand out custom R-rated fortune cookies. Customers love it. They recently ordered a new batch for Valentine's Day, but the fortune cookie the fortune cookie company made a big mistake. They sent their R-rated fortune cookies to other restaurants besides this one where people thought, oh, that's a lot of fun. So you could be going to, I don't know, you could be going to their version of, I suppose, Red Robin, and then, or wherever, and you get a fortune cookie and it says things like, you're capable of great things, but all you do is look at your phone all day. So you're not going to be that great.
And the year of the snake bears good fortune. Your divorce is coming soon.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Also, one said, I only married you for your money. Now, we're not reading the dirty ones. These are funny and whatnot, but
these are the clean, dirty ones.
There were tons of R-rated ones that had any word you imagine. Even the worst word was
even
on
the
these.
see you next Tuesday word.
Yes. So the restaurant owner said, the restaurant owners found these cookies when the company emailed to say that they weren't doing swear words anymore, but these cookies were in their hands. They just said they're not going to take any chances with it. The restaurant owner, they still do silly messages or even rude ones, just no profanity. I guess people really got upset about the profanity. I can't help but laugh at that because I think it's funny.
I mean,
like, a fortune cookie, and it's like, hey,
right?
guess what?
Can you
Enjoy
even
your divorce.
imagine?
Right.
I think that would be hilarious. Actually, you're
But
right.
how come but you think about that, things like fortune cookies in astrology, you never have, hey, Virgo, your month is going to suck. Your day is going to be terrible. You're going to get hit by a car. It's always positive stuff. So I suppose that's good, right, Jen?
I guess.
All right.
I can't believe I had no idea that for the first time in 42 years, America's best-selling vehicle is not the Ford F-150. Did you know that Ford F-150 was the #1 selling vehicle for that long?
I did because I own one. Not because of that, but it was, honestly, people make a big deal, particularly trucks are like, you got to have Dodge, you got to have Ford, you got to have Chevy or whatever. It's like, I just thought, hey, it's a nice looking truck and it's on sale. I'm going to buy it. But I do like my truck very much. And it has been the best selling vehicle in America for all those years. 77 years ago is when it first came out, the F-150. And now more than 4 decades, for more than 4 decades, no vehicle has been able to dethrone the F-150 until now.
I can't even believe, I was thinking, okay, what could possibly overthrow Ford F-150? I was surprised by this.
Do you want to do that as the last one or the first one?
The first one.
Well, let's just how about the best-selling vehicles in the USA? How about that for 2024?
That's great. Fine.
These are the top 10, and it's going from 10 to 1. The GMC Sierra, the Honda Civic, Nissan Rogue, Toyota Corolla, Toyota Camry, Chevrolet Silverado 1500, Tesla Model Y.
That's number 4.
Honda CRV. Number 2 is the Ford F-150 because, as we mentioned, it's been dethroned. The best-selling vehicle in all the USA, Toyota RAV4.
Toyota RAV4. What?
I guess I would have thought, based on the number I've seen, that the CRV, which, is basically Honda's version of that small SUV or whatever. But yeah, the RAV4 is the best-selling. We had the numbers. I thought we had the numbers here.
Yeah, we do. Toyota sold more than 475,000 units of the RAV4 last year, edging the F-150, which came in second after selling just under 461,000. I kind of feel bad for Ford. That's a bad day.
Well, it seems to me that if you have had the best-selling vehicle for 42 years, at some point, everybody driving will be driving your car, right?
I don't know.
It's the
No, I don't think so, but I feel bad for Ford.
Of course you do. Well, they're not the underdog in this case. So, I mean, don't you also kind of feel like it's time for somebody else to hold the throne?
Nope. Let's get back up there, Ford F-150. Let's do it.
Bringing us to our question of the day, which does deal with vehicles and cars and trucks and what have you. This is a good one, Jen. I like this.
Yes. Do you or did you ever have a name for your vehicle, and what was it? And you know what? Kurt, you wanted to put in here, this could be a 2-parter. Like, what was your favorite vehicle ever that you've owned?
Right.
And what did you name your vehicle?
And we've done similar questions to this, but I don't think we ever hit right on that. So again, it's a 2-parter. So we'll do your favorite vehicle ever. And I guess mine would be, I'd have to think about that because I've had a few.
How many cars have you had?
What, since I was 18?
Yeah.
I don't know. 10?
I've only had, do I have this right? My very first car my grandparents got for me, which was a Dawson B210 or something like that. And then I
Very
bought my
practical,
very
yeah.
first brand new car out of college, which was a Honda Civic.
Right.
And then I went from the Honda Civic to an Acura TL. And then I had babies and I'm like, this ain't going to work because it's hard to get a
Right.
car seat in there. And then I got the Party Pilot. I've had 4 cars my whole life.
I think it's interesting that when you're young and you're like, well, when I have money someday, I'm going to buy that whatever, that you wanted, a Porsche, whatever. And then by the time you get the money you need, well, your priorities have changed and suddenly you got to pay for diapers and stuff like that. It's like, so anyway, I never had a dream car, I don't think. But
I have. I have absolutely had a dream car. It's still my dream car. I've never had enough US dollars to buy one.
Wait, no.
Someday.
I've never owned a dream car of mine. I have a dream car.
What's your dream car?
Well, I think mine is going back to the 60s, like a 69 Mustang Fastback.
I want a Porsche. I want a Porsche Carrera.
Okay. Well, let's go get them.
Okay.
Regardless, that's what we're leaving you with.
digress.
Did you, what your all-time favorite vehicle that you had, and if it had a name, which I'm sure it did, we want to know.
Mine's the Party Pilot.
That's your favorite. Well, that's what it's named. Yes.
I've had
that's
4
your
to
favorite.
choose from. It's the Party Pilot.
Yeah. My cars don't have as nearly as cool of names. Well, the truck is Howard the truck, which very few people get that joke. Remember the movie Howard the Duck?
Yeah.
I went with Howard the truck.
That's hilarious.
Yep. See, that's what happens to most people. And I was like, maybe I should have chose a different name.
Okay, so we'll put that on our Facebook page, Curt and Jen in the Morning on Facebook. If you don't already follow us and like us on Facebook, please do, because then that question will pop up in your feed.
Right. And we'd love to hear from you anytime you want to email or write or carrier pigeon something to us. We're happy to smoke signals, whatever. We'd love to hear from you.
And happy Galentine's Day. Make sure you tell your friends, your girlfriends, all you ladies out there, tell your girlfriends how much you love them. Even if you're not going to see them, reach out to them.
There you go.
Have a good day. Make good choices. Find joy. Spread kindness. And be sure to find time to laugh. Have a good one.